One of the most memorable moments in my parenting life is when I was, in the house, doing some cleaning, and I went to walk around the corner, and when I went to look to my left, that's when I saw my daughter getting ready to turn a bottle of liquid Lysol cleaner up and start and to drink it. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, fast wasn't. I mean, it was lightning speed, is what it seemed like. I took off. I ran over there toward my daughter, and I, you know, got that liquid cleaner out of her hand because I know the damage that it could have done in her system if she would have ingested it. I mean, it was just a heart pounding moment, and it's something that I'm glad that did not happen. But nevertheless, it's something that occurs each and every day around the world regarding household cleaners. Children getting their hands on these particular liquids that are toxic and ingesting them and causing harm. Hello, everybody. My name is Leon, and today we're going to be talking in reference to household cleaners and not only household cleaners, we give it the label household cleaners, but if you are a teacher at a child care center or a child care facility or a group home, you do have, or at least you should have, these particular cleaners around to keep germs at bay and disinfect and do all you need to do diligently as a teacher to ensure that your students at your facility are safe. And we're going to touch on the importance of keeping these particular liquids in the right location and in a safe place to prevent children from ingesting and causing harm. What's the problem with household cleaners? Well, they're made of a lot of toxic chemicals. The periodic table is there for a reason to create these things, and they have a lot of good uses. Okay, not saying anything bad about it. Household cleaners are good, very good. But it can become a very serious problem, as I emphasize, if a child gets a hold of that particular cleaner and ingest it inside of their body. So household cleaners can cause certain issues depending on the histology, makeup, and all the different type of factors that play in regarding that person's genetics. Or whatever situation that they're dealing with. And even if they don't have anything, concerning a sickness or disease or, illness or whatnot, even, healthy individuals can have symptoms that can cause issues from, household cleaners. Eczema I'm going to read here. Baby skin is sensitive, and studies have found that irritants and allergens in household cleaners and detergents can cause skin irritation. How many of you can relate to that? We would love to hear, your response regarding your experience with skin issues, eczema, and household cleaners, and how it affects you. Air irritation, the bronchioles, the bronchi, the lungs, and that can get infected because of the chemical molecules from household cleaners can get into the air and cause irritation within the respiratory system. Eye irritation, household cleaners fumes can also irritate your baby's eyes. Now, whenever you're washing dishes, it's vitally important to, what's a better way of saying it? When I was growing up, I was told not to mop floors. I was told not to ever mix bleach with ammonia because it can give off a deadly chemical, cause a chemical reaction that put forth fumes into the atmosphere that can be life-threatening. And that's something that we have to look at, take into consideration as well regarding invisible irritants that we can't see. And here it's pointing out eye irritation. Bleach and dish detergent, that's not a good combination. It can cause respiratory as well as eye irritation. and that's what household cleaners do. They're chemicals, so we have to keep that in mind. They're chemicals. You're not washing those dishes with Johnson and Johnson, and that's a very excellent brand. But if you want to get those germs off of those dishes, it's highly recommended you use something that's going to kill the germs and decrease the possibility of spreading infection. And household cleaners do have its place in doing that, but it's a proper way of doing it. But when it concerns irritations, eye irritation is one from household cleaners. Allergies can be brought about because of household chemicals and the irritants that are in the atmosphere that can cause reactions. Poisoning. Here it is, a statistic that shows that every year more than 1 million kids under the age of 5 swallow poisons like household cleaners, sometimes with devastating effects. I'm thinking of something that just happened recently that I heard a child had ingested candle liquid, thinking that it was a drink a few weeks ago. And right now, we're praying for complete healing for that baby's body, heal from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet and everywhere in between, inside and out, in Jesus' name. Because that baby didn't know what he was doing, and the parent, was, taking care of the baby, but that child thought that it was a drink and ingested that poisonous chemical and almost lost his life, and still having some serious residual effects just by ingesting that. So we're not omniscient, we're not omnipresent, okay? We're not omnipotent, but we can't be everywhere at one time. But it's always good to be aware of your surroundings, your situation when you're dealing with children, to ensure that they're not ingesting chemicals that can cause damage, and do everything within your power, that has been given to you, or you have been authorized as an adult to ensure that child's safety. Poisoning is one. Unknown health effects. Household cleaners have fragrances and other chemicals that can go airborne. And so we want to ensure that a child is safe whenever we are cleaning, whenever we are mopping floors, whenever we are doing diligence to prevent the spread of germs and disease among children and adults inside of daycare facilities and childcare facilities and group homes. As teachers, we're educators, and we need to be educating ourselves regarding the safe practices that we need to implement in order to ensure safety all around. Now, here's some tips for child safe cleaning. Choose safer household cleaners. There are options out there that you can do your research on regarding that. Less is more. Many household cleaners can be diluted with water and clean quite effectively. That's another option. You can dilute that particular household agent that you're using to prevent, any type of reactions that may be in the air, that a child may have asthma, and you do it full strength, and that child has a reaction. And you go into your first aid plan of action and care to ensure that child doesn't have any further issues. But nevertheless, emphasis is on household cleaners and what we can do as adults and teachers to ensure safety, as I continue to emphasize. Skip the antibacterial soap. Despite the popularity of antibacterial soaps, plain old soaps will get the germs off just as well. Just as long as you're using the proper technique with the water and cleaning your hands properly for the certain amount of length of time, and it can also help in this particular case. Don't use spray on carpet cleaners. That can cause issues as well. when it concerns child safe cleaners, because children are always on the floor playing with toys and whatever you put on the floor. Just because it dried, you still have a residual effect there. The children's hand may be sweaty and they touch that particular area where you were cleaning with that agent and put it in their mouths, and it can cause issues. Stop dirt from getting into the house is another safe practice. Don't clean with the kids in the room. Is another aspect regarding household cleaners. Well, as always, it's always important to do your research and find out what you need to do as a teacher, as a child care executive, to ensure that your place is up to snuff and running smoothly, and spick and span, and you're practicing good housekeeping, and that's vitally important. And want to make sure that you emphasize that I want to emphasize to you that you do your own research and do your own study regarding what you need to do to ensure that your business is a success and continues to prosper. All right, well, once again, that concludes today's broadcast, and it's always a pleasure to have you tune in to watch these broadcasts, because we do what we do, and not only to help you your business thrive, but also to ensure that your business survives, because you didn't wake up that particular morning or today to close shop. So we want to give you feedback. We want to give you information. We would like to hear feedback, that is, and we give you information to continue you on your journey, walking in your wealthy place as a business owner and succeeding in everything that you do. That is our prayer to you. All right, that concludes today's broadcast. See you next time.